All right, JoeyRitter.com, on Twitter at Joey Ritter. Very excited about my guest today. I got Carolyn Busa, comedian or comedienne. Do you get offended when people call you a comedian?
No, I mean, I'm just round me up with the boys. It doesn't matter. I don't have to have the fancy one.
How do you, is it comedienne, how you're supposed to pronounce it?
I mean, that is the technical term, yes.
But you never correct anybody on that.
Oh, no, absolutely. As long as I'm not the first female comedian of the night, that's fine.
Right. Well, thanks for doing the show. I just want to mention at the top, Laughs on Fairmount every Monday night at the Urban Saloon, 2120 Fairmount Avenue, across from the penitentiary. So far, so good. You know, you got lots of comedians, 40, I think, coming out on Monday nights, which is a giant number for Monday night. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So I discovered your comedy on the Twitter, right?
Okay.
I think your tweets are very good.
Thank you.
Better than most people I follow. So I decided to check out your stand-up, and guess what? I like that too.
Hey.
But, you know, you have videos and YouTube clips on your site. Do you ever get worried that kind of, like, brings your stand-up vibe out of context?
The Twitter?
No, the YouTube clips that you have on your website.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I get worried that people are gonna, because I don't even know, they're like old clips, I think, by now. But no, I like to give people a taste, and I hopefully they understand it's a comedian thing and not a bad person, racist, or weirdo kind of thing.
Okay. Well, I didn't get the bad person racist kind of thing when I watched it, but it was totally fine. No, I just always wondered because, like, you know, when you're on YouTube, you know, after 10 seconds, people could exit out. But when they see you live, even if they don't like your first joke, as more as they get into the show, you know, you have a chance to rope them in. So I was just, you know, wondering what it's like for comedians to have clips up online.
Yeah, well, a lot of the times the clips are, I mean, it's great. You know, for instance, like you could see them, but a lot of the times we just need to have something like to submit to someone or for a certain contest or, you know, some clubs. So, like, I feel like the population thinks, like, we're out there trying to be like, look at our stuff, look how funny we are. Really, like, we just need to send it to someone, so we have to put it on YouTube, and, like, we're not looking for attention or anything.
One thing that's big these days is a lot of musicians are kind of live streaming their, you know, I don't know, like an acoustic show or something like that. It's just so easy to do live streams. Is that something that comedians consider, or would they rather get you in the club?
Well, I mean, of course, like a lot of the comedians are doing podcasts too, and you know, it's funny. Like just a couple weekends ago, I did do a webcast, like a live show from this girl's bedroom, but I think it's definitely all about being there in person. Like, I think anything we do out of that is just extra fun, and we kind of use it as another way to promote coming to see us live, because it's just so much better, and it's such a difference, a live laugh, than, you know, sitting at home on your bed laughing.
Right. Well, I hear you. I totally agree. I used to get out to a lot of open mics at Helium and the Raven Lounge and that kind of thing, but you know, I have a newborn baby, so I don't get out much these days. So, like,
Congratulations.
What's that?
Congratulations.
Thank you kindly. But yeah, no, the way I discover a lot of new music, comedians, is, you know, on Twitter and checking out YouTube clips and stuff like that. So, you know, I would totally tune into a live show on the internet, but I don't know if I'd be the only person that signed in. I don't know if that's like a hot thing for comedians.
I think it's probably the way I'm sure things will go. I mean, just with the popularity of podcasts. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm the only one without a podcast, so.
Well, you're on a podcast right now. I mean, this is a video interview, but I stream it out to a podcast too.
Awesome.
So I noticed you do a lot of shows in New Jersey. When people ask where you're based out of, what do you tell them?
It depends. I mean, I'm definitely a Philly comic, but if it gets to the nitty gritty, I'll be like, well, you know, I do live in Jersey, and you know, that might, you know, they'll have something snarky to say about that, I'm sure. But I mean, it's where I started. I started at college, and you know, at Rowan University, and you know, it's definitely been great, and I can't deny that's where I live. But, like, the comedy scene obviously isn't as big in the city. I mean, in Jersey. But, I mean, people are still trying. Everyone's trying, like, some Jersey show, and, you know, you gotta respect that.
I noticed Jersey kind of takes care of their own. Like, I would play music in Jersey all the time, and if you weren't a Jersey band, you know, people didn't boo you or anything, but I just felt like the Jersey homegrown talent always was better received than anybody from out of town. I don't know.
I know, it's funny. I feel like any comedy show in Jersey, it's like, it's not just a comedy show. It's always like, the New Jersey comedy show. Look, we can do it too. But it's like, you know, we're so proud, I guess.
I like that. All right. So, so your Twitter name is Miss Toilet Slave, which is a tremendous name, by the way. So why am I like a little bit turned on by that? I can't explain that. But like, do you ever get like weirdos that tweet you and you're like, hey, you know, like contact you for pricing or anything like that?
No, surprisingly, like, when I first did it, like, I wasn't doing comedy as much. And then, like, when I started doing comedy, I was like, oh, this is probably going to go bad. Like, you know, like you said, I'm probably going to get some weirdos. But for some reason, people just don't notice the name as much. But it's a song lyric. I don't consider myself the Miss Toilet Slave.
Okay. What's it a song lyric from?
Fisher Spooner. It's, like, one of their... I don't even know if it's a hidden track. It's one of their last tracks on their... I forget the album name, but the song's called Megacolon.
Okay.
And
like
I don't know.
Colon as in like rear end colon or semicolon?
No, like rear ends.
No. Okay.
And I just always thought this song was so cool and sexy and had this Madonna vibe. And like for some reason, I took the name as Toilet Slave as being sexy, and then everyone was like Googling the lyrics. I'm like, Carolyn, this is a song about someone taking a shit. And it's like, oh, too late.
Yeah. Well, when you're performing live, you know, do you say, "Hey, thanks for coming out to the show. Follow me at Miss Toilet Slave"?
I only in a blue moon, but you know, sometimes I wonder, I'm like, is this going to hinder me? Like, because like, you know, a lot of people are like their Twitter's their name, and of course mine's Miss Toilet Slave, but it's just stuck, and I really don't want to. I'm not one to like backpedal.
People can still search you out by your name, which is
yeah.
Cool. But I don't know the way that you tweet. I mean, people have to follow you, and I recommend they do so to see. But the way like your picture and your name and your tweets, like it all just kind of works together. Like your snarky tweets with like you smiling by the. I don't know, it just kind of works.
Yeah, because I'm definitely not like. I mean, I have some dirty stuff, but I'm definitely not like raunchy, which I think Miss Toilet Slave.
Right.
Sounds like I would be.
So, was there a defining moment you could point to where you said, okay, I need to be a comedian, I need to try this?
Probably, like, when I first saw, like, a comic live, which was at Rowan, and it was, it was Dane Cook, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But
why do you say unfortunately?
Well, he's just become this, you know, stigma in comedy, I feel like.
Yeah, but I mean, to see him live, I mean, you know.
Yeah, and it was like, you know, during his height, and it was like his first album, which, you know, I still kind of think is really good. And so I was just, you know, just seeing everyone go crazy over him. That was just awesome. And like I tell this to people all the time when they ask that question, like I really didn't even think of comedy as something that I could do. It just seemed like a celebrity thing. You know, I didn't realize, you know, like anyone can do it. So definitely seeing a live show was like, all right, I like hearing people laugh. This is cool. And then when I did like my first open mic and got a couple laughs, that was like, oh, done.
Then rolling with it, yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a specific comedian that influenced you. It was just kind of the vibe of the show and you know, making people laugh in general. Yeah,
I mean, the first album like I actually liked a lot was the Jim Gaffigan album. Where he does his Hot Pocket bit,
right.
And I was just going around like telling anyone I knew like that bit, and Ellen DeGeneres, I just always loved her, and she kind of had her stand-up special, the newer one, just I don't know, always had a soft spot for me, which kind of lit the fire, I guess, too.
I always liked Ellen DeGeneres, like even like her late 80s when Comedy Central was like a baby network, you know, when they just had stand up and like Saturday Night Live and nothing else, like nothing what it is today. You know, when Ellen DeGeneres had like that shoulder length haircut. I mean, I don't know. I've always been a fan of her.
She just got honored on some Mark Twain award. I don't know if you saw on PBS, and they just showed all her old clips and stuff like that, and it was great to see.
Yeah, I gotta. That's one I'd like to just check out on YouTube just to see what she has up there, because you could probably spend a good 45 minutes and just have a good time with that. So, your publicist sent over your fact sheet here.
My publicist.
Yep, I got some facts on you. And one of them is that you once wrote fan mail to Gene Wilder and Bob Barker. And I think there's nothing to be ashamed of about that.
Thank you. Even if you were a junior in high school?
Well, so you wrote to Gene Wilder when you were a junior in high school?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I don't know how old you are, and I don't know what the math equates to, but he's pretty old.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So when I first read that, I assumed, you know, you were in first grade and saw Willy Wonka, and
I like you.
So it was later in the ball game then.
Yeah, it was definitely junior high, and I brought the letter to school when I got it. Like, he sent I don't know, he didn't send it. Like, I got back a photocopied autographed picture and like a thank you note.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what do you remember, like, what you said in the letter?
I'm sure I could find it somewhere, but it was just about how much I loved him. I went through like my favorite movies and my favorite scenes and lines that he did. I just kind of rediscovered Willy Wonka in high school, and just like became obsessed and went for it.
Yeah, I mean, Willy Wonka, I know what you mean by rediscovering, because when you watch it as a kid, you're kind of, you know, taken by the big candy scenes, and you know, you're not paying attention to the actual dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
But his lines are absolutely brilliant. Like his sarcastic comments, like it does. Yeah, it does.
And he's so sexy, right?
Definitely, I would say so. The guy had quite charisma there, but yeah, and. But I'll tell you what, in that, who also was equally as brilliant in that movie, but a much lesser role, was the teacher.
Yeah.
When they were teaching percentages.
Yeah.
and they're like, hey, how many chocolate bars did you eat? And they're like, 800, 300. And he goes to Charlie and he's like, you know, I just ate 2. He's like,
200.
I can't figure out just 2. You know? Anyway.
I know, he's great. That's like, those teachers kind of remind me of like that teacher from The Christmas Story, the evil teacher. Like, I feel like they all have that weird, scary teacher vibe. I don't know.
Well, do you mean like the scene where he daydreams that the teacher's a witch?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
yes.
Just they kind of reminded me of each other. Like, it was just like a weird classroom. I don't know.
Yeah, that scene really creeped me out as a kid. I had to like kind of look away. You know?
Yeah.
I wasn't like scared as I was compared to some other movies. I was scared of a lot of weird movies as a kid. But Bob Barker, okay, another legend, another great guy.
Yeah.
Did you write these letters at the same time?
It definitely was like only months apart, I feel like. And that one, there were some drawings. There was like some Plinko, and I like drew out his games. And yeah, I don't know. I like used to tape The Price is Right, like during school, so I'd come and watch it.
VHS style?
Yeah. And yeah, that one I got like I'm sure it was photocopied, but another glossy of him and his dog, and you know, signed Bob Barker.
See, that's what's up, because like, you know, you got the Gene Wilder autograph, you decided to keep it rolling with Bob Barker. And you got some, you know, I don't know if they're 8x10s or whatever. It's a nice little frame thing to hang in the bedroom there. Yeah,
I think I learned, like, I think when I was little, I must have wrote to an author, and like it's always stuck with me that like, oh, there's a chance you'll probably get something in the mail, and so like I've kind of done that a few times since.
Yeah, I wrote to Ralph Macchio when I was like 7, you know, for the Karate Kid.
Oh, I just was watching them. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, and big hero of mine. And he, I got a autograph thing back, and it said "All my best, Ralph Macchio." And I really thought that he read my letter, was inspired, like wrote "All my best" and sent it. But in reality, he just signed like 1,000 of them at the same time, and secretary just stuffs them in an envelope, sends it my way.
But was it actually like signed? Could you or was it photocopy?
I'm pretty sure it was signed. I mean, it was like a nice glossy type picture. I mean, I didn't do like a ink test on it or anything. But all right, so coming down the fact sheet here, you love dirty electro music, i.e. Peaches.
Okay.
And have a dream of starting a weird group that does dirty-ass songs. I kind of think you're lying to me on that one.
Well, hello, Miss Toilet Slave. I mean, come on.
Well, first of all, you give an example of I.E. Peaches, and I don't know what that is, so that doesn't help me out.
Oh, she's like this great, do you want me to play a song? Will that come through?
Maybe.
She's just like sexy, and all her lyrics are raunchy, and they're all like, hold on. She's all like synthesizer, excuse me, and just lyrics about like sucking on dicks. Can I curse, right? Stuff. It's okay. Let's see. I'll put on. Did you ever see Lost in Translation?
I rented that. I remember I like rented that from Blockbuster, and I popped it in, and I don't know. I was watching it by myself, and I just kind of tapped out. And I don't do that often.
Really?
But, like, I'm such a huge Bill Murray fan, and I don't know. I didn't get it. I think it was like The Matrix to me. Like I didn't understand it, and I was mad at myself for not understanding it, so I just quit.
Well, that's where I first heard the song, which I don't have on my computer, but let's see if you can hear this. Can you hear it?
Yep. So this is dirty electro music?
I mean, this is... I'd rather fuck who I want than kill who I am told to. I'd rather fuck who I want than kill who I am told to. I'd rather fuck.
All right, now I think that's got to be the music you come out to when they introduce you, for sure.
Oh, cool, yeah, you should.
I mean, that's pretty tremendous.
Yeah, and like my friends and I, when we were growing up, like we kind of just like would think of dirty, weird lyrics, and so like we kind of always had this idea of like making some weird, sexy band. And then my boyfriend, he kind of we'll sometimes go back and forth with like that song, "My Dick is Better Than Yours." Like
I don't.
Oh, who are you, Joey?
I don't know. I listen to a lot of music. I feel like I know a lot about music, but I'm missing these
well, these aren't like classics,
lyrics.
Don't worry. But yeah, well, we have a whole pussy version.
So, all right. Well,
Sorry.
I wish you the best of luck in the dirty ass song writing you got there. So, last one I got here is chewing noises piss you the F off.
Ugh.
Now, I saw a tweet that you were in jury duty today, and so as you're sitting there waiting to be called for jury duty, if somebody's next to you eating something, making a horrible chewing noise, do you say something to a stranger?
No, I never like unless it's my family or friends, I'll never say anything, but it just kills me.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why it has to be a problem. Why would you ever open your mouth when you're chewing? And it's I've looked up something. I know someone whose dad suffers from it. Like they can't even eat in the same room together. Like there's also some like mental thing that some people just really destroys them when they hear the noise.
Oh, it's a horrendous noise. I'm with you all the way on this.
And like if I hear like at work or something, I have a tendency like it just makes you so angry, and then like I feel like I have to start chewing loudly so they can hear it, or I'm like sitting there shoving my ears, and it just I was like reading the symptoms of this disease, and it's like you'll have a tendency to get angry and just get really mean, and try to like chew louder than them. Just
Is it all chewing noises, or is it like, you know, soft foods versus pretzels? Is it all the above?
Yeah, it's for me. It's everything. Yeah, it's just. Uh,
I can deal with pretzels to an extent, I think.
well, the trick is, like, I understand a first bite being loud, but it should never be after that. Like, first bite, I'll give you the first bite, but then it should get lower and lower as it goes, and some people get louder and louder, and I don't understand that.
Are you extra self-conscious when you have to chew around people?
I am. Yeah, oh, for sure.
Sorry. Do you do that thing where, like, when you have food in your mouth and somebody asks you a question, you just kind of answer it like this? Out of
I just, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely do that move.
Yeah. And, I mean, even today at jury duty, I left the room when I got a bagel, and I left the room and sat by myself. I don't want to bother anyone.
Yeah. Have you ever got a detention or suspension in school before?
Yeah, but it was my senior year of high school, so I think I did a pretty good job.
of staying clear of it till senior year? It
was like probably the last month of school, and I would take a class trip to Penn. I think it was Penn, at the medical center there, and, you know, like, look at dead bodies and weird things. And we would take Patco, which is the local transportation that was in my town, and it dropped us off right, like, Patco was right by our house. Me and my friend were like, we're not going to go back to school. And so we left and just walked home. And then, like a nightmare, like, I got calls like a half hour later from my friends, like, they're paging you. Like, where are you? And so we got caught.
Oh, man. See, that's lame. I mean,
I know.
I guess they got to follow through and punish you for it. I guess if they had to, but I remember one time I think I was like a junior or something. Metallica was playing a free show.
It's already a better story than mine.
Well, it isn't actually. It has a terrible ending. Metallica was playing a free show in like I think it was the First Union Center at the time, but the parking lot, like YSP did a contest, and, you know, Philly was the winning city, got a free Metallica concert. Everybody in my high school went, and that's totally something I would go to and ditch school for, but I didn't have like an exit strategy, and I didn't talk to the right people that were sneaking out. And I just remember sitting in math class with like 4 people, like, just not being at the Metallica concert. I mean, I would have gladly taken...
Wait, so you didn't even get in trouble for it? You just stayed?
No, yeah. I mean, like, I wish I had the guts that you had to just, you know, leave it all behind.
Yeah, I mean, I left school like a half hour early. I wouldn't call myself a hero, but...
In 9th grade, I did not go to gym class in 9th period to get the new Green Day CD.
Oh.
Yeah, I walked home because I needed to get it, like, a half hour early, yeah. Yeah, I felt very good about that one, too.
Yeah, I've never left for, like... My family was never that cool to let me leave for, like, some cool entertainment function like that. But there was definitely some, you know, Spice Girl concerts and things I would have left school for if they allowed me to.
Wait, the Spice Girls played, like, during school hours, or...?
No, but, like, Spice World. I remember my one friend, like, when the Spice World came out, she's like, well, my mom's letting me leave school, and I'm going to go see it. I was like, well, you suck.
I actually do have a slight Spice Girls concert story. I remember, like, it was, like, junior year, I went to, like, a Phillies game. It was still at the Vet, and, you know, the game sucked. The team was horrible back then.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were going into the game, you know, we're, like, 16 years old, and we noticed all these girls in short skirts and, you know, walking, some with their moms, some, like, in packs of teenagers walking in, and we had no idea what was going on in the First Union Center. And then we leave the game, we're like, let's just go walk in the First Union Center and see what all these girls are going. It was just a Spice Girls concert.
Oh, awesome.
It was towards the end, so, like, we just walked right in. We couldn't sit down or anything, but we were able to peek and just see, like, the last couple songs of the show.
What were they?
I remember it was like the slow song, and yeah, I don't remember seeing, like, If You Want to Be My Lover or anything like that. Yeah.
Well, I finally got to live the dream when they like did their mini reunion tour a few years ago, and finally saw them live. So
Where'd they come?
they're everywhere, but we went to Newark. What's that? Prudential
Yeah,
Center.
yeah, yeah. Well, that kind of leads me to one of my questions here. What was the first concert you've ever been to?
It was like a Y100, whatever their summer show was they did.
Was it a festival?
Yeah,
Or?
yeah, at the in Camden, and it was kind of like one of those things that you feel like you're gonna wake up from because it's so cool. Like my sister is 5 years older than me, and her friend had extra tickets, and my sister Jen didn't want to go, and they were like, "Well, why don't you go, Carolyn?" I was like 5 years, like this little girl hanging out with this college girl,
Yeah.
and I remember like she was like, "Well, let me wait and make sure this other person, can't go," and it's just like that waiting period where it's like, "Oh my God, am I gonna get?" Because Weezer was playing, and it was like the first band I like really loved, and finally got the call that it was a go, and so I went with this girl I never met before. She was in college. I guess I was like I was like a freshman. I was old, I guess, for her first concert.
A
And
little bit, yeah.
yeah, it was cool. And I think Bare Naked Ladies were there too. Not that I like them, but
Come on, why not? You can admit you like the Bare Naked Ladies.
no.
Well, I don't know. I have some friends who I knew were huge Bare Naked Ladies fans at the time, but all of a sudden it became uncool to like them. I don't understand why that is. That one album is a perfect album as far as I'm
Right.
concerned. So.
Yeah, don't ask me. I don't know the equation for that one.
Yeah, but the Y100 festivals were incredible. Like they had a awesome lineup every summer, and then they would release a CD of all the bands that were playing. I mean, Y100 was just a great station altogether.
I know.
I mean, 104.5 is all right. I mean, they play a lot of the same music, same kind of thing.
They're trying.
Actually, I guess because I'm older, I don't really pay attention, because I was going to say Y100 like did more for the fans, but 104.5 definitely does like, Twitter things where you have to tweet 1,000 times, "I want tickets from Radio 104.5," and
yeah,
that's what the kids are doing these days.
They do like some local bands on the weekends. Don't they play some stuff? I think.
Probably. I mean, I know they did when the station first started.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, I don't know if they still do that. So, all right. Well, we do a solid bit here, Carolyn, called the Random 90s Generator.
Oh,
In
cool.
this rollerblade here, which is very 90s, I have about 130 topics, subjects, songs, movies, pop culture things that happened in the 90s.
Speaking of, is your sweatshirt like supposed to be Nintendo?
No, it's Lagwagon.
Oh, I thought it was like a play on Nintendo. It looks like the font.
I
guess I lost.
I could see that. Yeah. No, they're a 90s punk band.
Oh.
Okay. I don't have anything on this. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Lame.
Yeah. Were you too old for that, or just weren't a fan?
Just wasn't a fan. And the girl, she's my friend now, but I remember like she liked them, and like we weren't friends at the time, and I was like, it's so like stupid, like Power Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, I could, I was into like Ninja Turtles and stuff, and then I think Power Rangers came out when I was in middle school, so I was way past it. But I know that, like, based on what I knew about them, that if I was in elementary school and of the age, they still didn't do anything for me. I still thought they were kind of lame.
I just always remember turning it on, and like if the bad guy was on, it was like this is so obviously like a little, mini thing they're trying to make look like a big monster.
Yeah.
Just always look terrible.
They're kind of lame. All right, I drew another one here. I got Where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo?
Yeah, this is the book series.
Yeah, I always thought they were cool, and I found it most of the time.
Well, there was 3 books from what I remember.
There's only 3?
Well, maybe they made more, but when it first came out, there was, I remember, like a turquoise one, a red one, and a yellow one. And the turquoise one was easy, simple. But then the yellow one was like advanced. It's impossible. You had to find Waldo, you had to find the wizard, and you had to
Oh, there was
find
like a girl Waldo, wasn't there too?
I don't know. See, you might have got the second edition or something, but yeah, no, there was a little scroll thing, impossible to find. And then the last one was like the land of Waldo, so it was everybody dressed up in the.
Yeah, that's just mean. That was terrible.
Horrendous, but yeah, I was a big Waldo fan.
Yeah, and they kind of made like spin-off Waldo books. I don't know, like they weren't Waldo, but they were, there was always like find these books. And
now, what was there a female Waldo that they gave a different name, like Wanda or something?
That's my mom's name. I don't know. I just feel like there probably was like a girl, like there's always the girl like Philly Fanatic.
Right.
Like there's probably like the girl Waldo you had to find. I don't know.
Miss Pac-Man, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. The last thing we do on JoeyRitter.com is a bit called Turn It Up or Turn It Off. I'm going to name you 5 songs. Unfortunately, none of them are dirty electro songs, but I'll name you 5 songs, and you just simply tell me, do you turn it up or do you turn it off?
Okay.
Simple enough. First song is Goo Goo Dolls' Iris.
How does that one go again?
Oh, I love when I get to sing it. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand.
Turn it down.
Turn it down is not an option.
Wait, what was it? Turn off?
Turn it up or turn it off?
Turn it off. Turn it off.
That's a very Y100-y song. That's like a band that would play at the festival. Weren't into them?
No. I mean, yeah, of course they're a Y100 band, but no. A little too whiny, I guess.
Yeah, I went to see them live once, and is
that the one where he whispers Allison?
I don't think so, or I don't know. It's not coming to mind.
All right.
But they did that song, and that it has like a good music breakdown. You're not a fan of the song, but it does a good breakdown, and then when it comes into that last part, it's very emotional, and I was all into it. Yeah, exactly. Dun 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 dun. And I don't come on. How does that not make the hairs on the back of your neck?
Like I definitely like sing it like loud, if like in a jokey voice. But
sure. Okay.
I'd probably like check 102.9 when that song was on, and then go back to see if it was over yet.
All right. Well, Johnny Resnick, handsome Johnny Resnick. I remember at that part of the song, he like stopped because some guy in the crowd, I guess, was yelling at a girl or something, and he addressed that situation like right at that part of the song.
Oh my gosh, how intense.
They didn't even like go back into that part. They played like some other song.
Oh, that's awful.
Very disappointed. I mean, I was a fan of the song, but if I was like a diehard fan and I went to the concert specifically for that song, that would really
that breakdown. Yeah.
All right, your second song for Turn It Up or Turn It Off is "Meet Me Halfway" by the Black Eyed Peas.
I'm going to get in trouble for this one. Which one's that one again?
It's "Meet Me Halfway, right at the borderline where I'm gonna stay."
Is that is that a newer one? Nope, it's not.
It's like 2008, maybe.
I probably turn it up, and my boyfriend hates Black Eyed Peas, but I don't mind them.
Yeah. Why does he hate them?
Well, they're awful. Just who they are. Like when you ever see them live, they're just kind of.
I don't know. I can see past whatever the image is and just groove to the music, I guess. But
yeah, so do I. And believe me, with their latest one, which that had oh God, oh come on, Joey.
The latest Black Eyed Peas song.
Well, the latest album that had
Ooh.
Anyway,
I can't get you. I can't meet you halfway on that. All right.
I definitely jammed out to that one. It's because it's got some of those
Oh, is it Just Can't Get Enough? The way, just can't get enough.
This is what you're
just trying to make me sing.
This is what your podcast really is, just you getting to sing.
Well, I know I do like it when the person doesn't know the song and I get to sing it, but singing Fergie's parts are very tough for me.
Right. That's why I just sing Will I Am's.
Right.
No, but they kind of have that sexy music thing going in some of their songs that I can get on board with.
Okay. You're all about the sexy music. Third song is AC/DC Highway to Hell.
Yeah, I'd probably turn that up and like scream it a little bit.
All right. Fourth song, Avril Lavigne, Skater Boy.
No, see, if you said the other one,
Complicated.
Oh yeah. How's that go?
Why? It's all the female songs that it's like.
Why
everything so complicated? Yeah.
Yeah, that one I definitely rock out to. I could relate, you know.
Okay. All right, last one is Aerosmith, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
I think I'm way over that one, and I'd have to turn it off.
You were a fan at one point, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, Armageddon, kind of exciting, but then, yeah, I have to turn it off. Anything that they play on the Rock and Roller Coaster in Disney, like, I'll turn that up. So, like, but don't want to.
I'm not familiar with the Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh my God, it's Aerosmith roller coaster.
I will get to Disney at some point.
You have a newborn, yeah.
I know, and she is 6.5 months old, and she recognizes Mickey Mouse. It's amazing. It is amazing. I don't know what they do, and you know, there's some kind of subliminal thing going on with Disney stuff. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, they start it in the womb now. I think they do like hidden Mickeys in the uterus.
Yeah, for sure. Disney's got something with like the prenatal company, and that's how it goes. So, all right, well, Carolyn, I really appreciate you doing JoeyRitter.com. Again, Monday nights, Laughs on Fairmount, Urban Saloon. Where can people check you out online?
Well, the Twitter, like you said, and then my website's just my name, CarolynBusa.com. I do try to update my blog every now and then. What do
you blog about?
What do you blog about? You sound like my mom.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, blogs are kind of tough for me to get me because it takes a lot, you know, to read and dedicate to reading a thing. So I'd like to know what the subject matter is before I decide. I've already checked out your comedy. I'm already a fan of the comedy, but you know, the blog I need to be sold on.
The blog is, I guess, just like a little extra of what you wouldn't get like on the Twitter, like an expanded Twitter, I guess.
Well, I like your tweets, so I'd probably check the blog out.
Yeah, you know, it's fun. Like every now and then I'll write something long, but they're usually just quick little things or pictures and yeah, a little extra.
All right, well, thanks again for doing this, and you know, I hope to check you out live sometime soon.
Awesome. Thank you, Joey Ritter.
You got it.